All right. Who's cooking red beans and rice with me today? Is anybody making something different? Cheryl?
I don't have any of the ingredients, so.
All right, well, thank you for signing. Okay, fair enough. Selma, you cooking today?
Yeah.
Oh, yay. All right, well, what I did, and I'm not sure how you guys are doing it, but I'll talk you through what I'm doing and we can talk about whatever else is going on. I made my beans in the Instant Pot. So I have that broth that I'm going to be using and I spiced it a little bit. So my beans are cooked. So now I'm doing the olive oil, the onions, the bell peppers, and the celery and the garlic. And I'm then going to add the sausage because I am using sausage, andouille sausage, and I'm going to let all of that cook. Then I'm going to put the spices and the beans in and the broth, and I've already made my rice separately. So who's doing it the way that the recipe shows? And you're cooking your beans for 2.5 hours. Anybody? Good. Well,
I was not home to soak my beans, so I started them cooking about an hour plus, an hour, 15 minutes ago, and they're starting to get soft. So I'm doing that, whoops, and I'm overflowing my rice as we speak. And I made the rice separately, and I did vegan sausage and vegan tempeh. Don't hold up well in liquid, evidently, so I sauteed them to make them, you know, kind of a little crisp. They actually look, where are they?
yeah, let's see.
So let's see. This could be a challenge. Hold on.
Almost had it.
Yeah.
Almost again.
Oh, you know what? I think I have to, hold on. I'm gonna put this like that. Hold on.
Okay.
Where are they?
Curious.
There they are. So,
Ah,
gosh, this is really difficult.
it kind of looks like sweet potatoes or something. That's the
No,
tempeh.
wait.
What is it?
This is so weird. Wait, let me put this down. I have no idea why I can't focus on that. Okay.
Yeah.
So some are like hot dogs and some are
Ah,
tempeh with
Uh-huh.
with a, I think it was teriyaki actually. So I did a combination because I've never tried either of them, but they
fun.
actually both taste really good. So, but they don't hold up to liquid. So I'm just going to end up adding them after everything else is done.
Yeah, and it'll just be like crumbles. That'll be good.
Well, the hot dogs will be like sausage. They have a texture like hot dogs.
Oh, good.
So I think those will be good. Who knows? We'll see.
My dogs are arguing with you, so I'm going to mute myself. And if anybody needs anything, I will unmute, but happy to be cooking with you all today.
So I guess a good idea would be to deliver these as soon as possible to make it Juneteenth-ish, right?
Yeah, I was thinking about that because all day on NPR, they had Juneteenth stories, which I found so interesting. And I'm really glad that like the tide has turned and we get to understand and hear all of this. But by the same token, yeah, you're right. I need to do all these a week earlier than we do them. But
Oh, that's an idea.
We could, but on the other hand, you know what? We're just putting more food into the thing, even if.
Selma, is the freezer working yet or no?
No, sadly it isn't. I'm gonna have to call somebody in to check it out. And Deb, you were talking about NPR and covering Juneteenth, and I was speaking to Sonia, who, as you know, was so much a part of the protests and the marches and just the whole effort to after George Floyd and all, and there was such an emphasis on highlighting Black-owned businesses and restaurants and in the digital media company that she was part of, and I'm sure across the board. But I was speaking to her today, and she felt so disappointed because she and her friends really wanted to go to Black-owned restaurants and everything today, just Black-owned everything today, just in the spirit of the holiday and to show support. And it was so difficult to find. Like a few years ago, there were lists and people posting and media covering, and she felt that now that focus isn't there and hasn't been sustained. And yeah, it was disappointing to hear.
Salma, I missed the beginning. Who was it that you were speaking about? I know
Sonia.
Sonia. Yeah, that's
a few years ago, it was so easy to support and be a part of, and frequent restaurants and buy things and highlight content creators and all of that. It was just all over social media and friends talking about it, and it just isn't the case. And it was, it was really hard to find places. Many had closed down, or they just didn't know where they were or if they existed, and all of that. So yeah.
I wonder what changed if the people in charge were no longer making it a priority, or, was she able to participate during COVID, or it was like before that with, that they had the lists and, it was obvious what was going on.
Right. I mean, it was really post George Floyd when, for that year, a couple of years where it was just available and accessible, and everybody was part of that focus. And it just doesn't seem to be a priority and not easy, and so people aren't as engaged because it's harder to find, but we end up not.
So Deb, when you put your beans in, were they completely cooked? Like,
Yeah, mine were. Yeah. I mean, either cook it longer on this end, or So I just am now throwing all my spices in and letting it just kind of get the flavor, but they don't need to cook any longer. Yeah.
Right. Okay, at some point, I think I'll just put everything, because I did cook the rice separately. I'm doing the vegetables separately. I have the beans separate.
Lots
So,
of pots to clean.
sausage.
Yeah.
So
You may as well
it's a mess here. But that spice blend seems like it should be really good, though.
does. Smells good. Teaspoons.
So I'm just confused about how much water. So if your beans are completely cooked beforehand, how much water did you end up putting the beans and the veggies and the spices into? Did you still do the 12 cups?
I did 6 cups.
6 cups,
It
okay.
looks like about the right amount. I just now poured in the sausage, all the veggies, some of the spices, the beans, and then I poured in 6 cups of this kind of ricey beanie broth. No rice. The broth that I got out of cooking the beans and putting some other stuff in there. And I did 6 cups and it looks like the right consistency. You know, it's a little soupy. I'll show you and you decide. I mean, I don't know if you want it thicker. I'm now just going to start cooking it down. So who knows? Can you see this?
Yeah, it looks stewy, but look a little thin.
It's thin now, but yeah, I'll be cooking it down for a while. So I think 6 cups kind of works, I think.
Okay, so I just wanted to make sure it didn't seem like it should be 12 cups because
No.
they're all cooked. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
yeah.
And you use the water that you had cooked the beans in. I'm not used to doing this, so I'm totally
I know.
lost.
You know what I've been doing lately, Marcia, because the beans do give off. You know how you use the aquafaba if you're using canned? So I've been now cooking my dried beans with water, but also with some bay leaves and with the ends of onions and carrots and, whatever I've got that's going to go into this anyway, or that I've got on hand. And I make a little bit of a broth out of it and I'm using it instead of water. So I don't know. I figure, how can it hurt?
They can't.
I don't know, just get a little extra more with everything. So, and I don't know if you guys are doing this, but I went ahead and I'm filling my containers with half a thing of rice or just under half. So I'm just going to pour the red beans on top. And so if it's a little too soupy, the rice will absorb it. And if it's not, it's fine. I don't know. Have you ever met anyone who has made peace with mediocrity as much as I have? When I was 12, my parents had 3 brothers, and my parents say I was the biggest bitch perfectionist. Like, the classic teenager. I'd throw myself on the bed and cry if the cake didn't work or whatever. And now I'm like, but it tastes good. Who cares? It didn't rise right. I'm like, somehow I made peace with it all.
You got
I think
it all
that's
out
a
of
good
you.
life skill.
Yeah, I was lucky. I was such a bitch till I was about 16, I guess. And then I'm just like, whatever, it's fine. I don't know.
Now it's called resilience.
I guess. Yeah.
When we made the red beans and rice, and I donated those, I was afraid that half a quart of rice and then half a quart of the red beans wouldn't be much for like a family. So I took a quart of the rice, the full, and a quart of the beans and just put a rubber band around them. So that's
That's
another
so
thing you can
nice.
do.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I was leaving it up to the people who deliver. Oh, if anybody likes to deliver to Here to Help, especially since the Manning Place refrigerator isn't working, Here to Help gave me a little text today saying, hey, are you guys still cooking? I haven't been getting anything from you all. And I go, yeah, your hours are a little limiting. And I've heard that it's a little disappointing that when people go there and they don't see your stuff and they go inside and they see refrigerators filled with frozen soups, it's a lot more inspiring to drive up and have your soups go out of your car and into a recipient's car. So that may be part of why you're not getting many soups. And I was thinking of myself when I said that. So know that they're still interested. They would still love whatever we cook and bring over to them. And let's see if she comes up with some extra hours. So it's not just Sundays from 9 to 11 or whatever it is, 10 to 12.
Deb, about an hour ago, I sent Hetty an email with what you and I had talked about to ask about using the freezer space. So
we'll double team her.
Yeah.
We'll double team her. We got it, Cheryl. I love it. So I was reading this interesting thing. If while you all are cooking, you want me to read this to you about how on Juneteenth, there's kind of a tradition of red food and drink. Anybody read this or see this?
Actually, I might. Was it this weekend? I feel like I just saw something.
Yeah, it probably was just this weekend. Here's the story. Let's see. Yeah, and it had, yeah, I think it was you might not have seen this. This is from Atlas Obscura, Marcia, so I don't know. But anyway, it's a story behind red-hued Juneteenth food and drink. Red Fair at June 19th celebrations has significance that predates American slavery, because the theory since then was that this represented, and when I say this, they have red drinks like, you know, strawberry flavored drinks or cherry flavored drinks, and red meat on the grill, and these red beans, and red velvet cake is one that's made a lot. And the theory was that this represented the blood of all the people who died. Now, this Atlas Obscura article is talking about, no, actually, it came from some of these African countries where people had originally been, and the color red really was important to all life celebrations. Let me find the paragraph that's talking about here. They may have owed its existence to the enslaved Yoruba and Congo brought to Texas in the 19th century from present-day Nigeria, Ghana, Togo, Benin, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, writes a culinary historian and food blog writer, Michael Twitty, in his blog Afro Culinaria. Twitty goes on to write, enslavement narratives from Texas recall an African ancestor being lured using red flannel cloth, and many of the charms and power objects used to manipulate invisible forces required a red handkerchief. The Asante and Yoruba special occasions, which included offering up of blood of animals, especially the red blood of white birds and white goats, to their ancestors and gods. Red in many West African cultures is a symbol of strength, spirituality, and life and death. It's possible this cultural legacy, along with these groups' distinct food knowledge of okra, beans, melons, and many other food groupings, some red, some not, was brought across the Atlantic. They say hibiscus flowers are involved with lots of drinks on Juneteenth. Reddish purple tea called KindSoup. I kept thinking when I was reading this article about, remember when we were growing up and like everybody would like make these Kool-Aid pitchers and put this nasty old red pitcher of stuff in the middle of their picnic tables?
We would make that nasty stuff and sell it to the other neighborhood kids.
You know, I went to look at some stuff for, one of these refugee projects that we're doing. I went to look at stuff today. I was out in Vienna, Virginia. And there's 3 girls doing a lemonade stand, Denise. And I said, "Oh, what are you girls raising money for?" And they said, "Oh, just to kill time." I thought, all right, well, that's not good. Hey, what kind of lemonade do you have? And they go, "Well, we have this bottle kind here." And they're showing me the bottle that they're pouring it out of.
Oh,
That's worth $1. And they go, "Or we have a little bit of this homemade kind here." I said, "Oh, what'd you make the homemade stuff out of?" They said, "Lemons and sugar and water." And I said, "All right, I'll have the end of that." And there was like about this much left. And I said, "All right, I'll have that." And they go, "Okay." I gave them $5. They said, "Well, that will be $1. Do you want us to keep the rest?" And I would
I had your number.
They gave me no good reason to say yes. I wanted
Yeah.
to, but they gave me nothing. Oh, well.
Hmm.
Did any of you like know about Juneteenth growing up, or is this something you just started hearing about in the past like 5-10 years?
Oh, 5-10 is generous for me.
Hmm.
You know what? I have a
Yeah.
little bit of an embarrassing, funny story. I didn't know about it, Cheryl, growing up at all. But maybe about 15 years ago, I don't know why I was branching out. And I think I told you guys the story. But anyway, I went to this Juneteenth book club at the Rockville Library because they were reading a book. I did tell you, right? I'll stop if I thought so. So anyway,
I didn't hear it.
I learned fast about Juneteenth because I had no idea, but I was in the middle of a Juneteenth celebration without knowing it.
Oh, wow.
But to now have on the radio access to people's stories, it makes me really happy because honestly, how we don't know this stuff is as embarrassing as that had happened.
And also, what I'm now learning about Juneteenth, that it's 2.5 years after emancipation. That's what we're celebrating or observing. Like 2.5 years later, the word is finally getting to Texas. Like,
Well, I had the misconception that, everybody else was freed and then this small group of people was the last, but it's not really that way. If you read about it, there was the Emancipation Proclamation, but then there was 2 more years of the Civil War after the Emancipation Proclamation. So that whole thing was in process for a lot of people, as I understand it, until 1865.
Yeah.
And then Juneteenth happened. So it wasn't exactly like I had pictured. I thought these people were like some people were on an island not getting the news or something. It's not like that at all. Yeah.
But it still did take another couple months, right, Denise? After the armies had stopped engagement, wasn't there still a few months that like the people in Texas still kind of didn't know, or no?
It could be. I'm not sure what month the war ended in 1865. If this happened in June, so that could very well be. Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's hideous.
Yeah.
But I had the understanding that you did, Denise, up until recently.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we're all learning. I think there's a lot of people that still don't know that much, so it'll be a whole process,
For sure. So if you haven't yet put your liquid in, 6 cups might have been awfully generous. I don't think it's going to be bad, but if I did it again, maybe 4 cups, only if you like it stewier. Because now I'm going to try to cook mine down a little bit. So Julie and Cheryl, what'd you think of the show the other night? I think I heard you liked it.
I thought it was really good. We enjoyed it. I was going to read more about it and about the author.
Yeah, I think it was his last play. He's had a lot of really successful and highly, produced plays on Broadway. And I think this was the last play he wrote, and he's got a whole Pittsburgh series, apparently. I felt like it ended a little abruptly. That might have just been my own attention span.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it did end a little abruptly. I hadn't thought about that.
I thought about it because I wasn't sure that it was over. I was like, wait, I'm not done yet. And they came out and we started clapping.
Well, I haven't seen the, earlier versions. I think this being the last one, it must have been like maybe his father or other things. I don't know. Like,
Oh, the other plays in the series,
Yeah.
you mean? Yeah.
I don't know. So I don't know if this was his last one because he was done writing it, or if he left it so now there's another installment that could be made.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. Julie will do the research and let us know.
But I liked it. I thought it was really good.
Oh, good.
Someone said that the guy who played, now I
The
can't
older
remember.
guy, old Joe?
Yeah, that he was like in the King Lear production that was so acclaimed downtown.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that's true, but that he's really an acclaimed actor here in Bethesda Roundhouse.
That's pretty cool. I mean, he seemed like he could be what you're saying, right? I mean, he was comfortable just being his kooky character and holding his own. He was fun. I wouldn't have been surprised. So next week, for anybody who can cook with us next week, we're making a new one, a chickpea stew with orzo and mustard greens. And of course, you don't need to use mustard greens if you don't like. Spinach, kale, arugula all work well. But, I thought it was a little bit of some ingredients we don't use as much. This one's going to have fennel, could have fennel, or you could replace it with celery. Chickpea, but a nice, clean, other than if you use a lot of Parmesan cheese at the end, totally a vegan meal, vegetarian if you use it, but it sounds clean and delicious. So I'm looking forward to that. And then in 2 weeks, we're going to be making a watermelon gazpacho again, but this time there is a fantastic nonprofit that's at the same space that we have in Bethesda named Uprooted Dance. And they are Kira from Uprooted Dance, she's the founder of this organization, is gonna cook the watermelon gazpacho, which she had wanted to make. And I said, oh, we've already got one on our calendar. Do you wanna lead us that day? So I don't know if she's gonna change up the recipe or use the same one, but that was a recipe she loves very much and she wants to cook with us. So that'll be fun to learn about another fabulous local nonprofit.
Fennel is one of my favorite vegetables. It's so good.
I can't wait. I mean, it's so underused, right? Do you cook with it a lot at home?
Not that much, but I just bought some today as a matter of fact.
Do you roast it? That's my favorite. Do you roast it?
You could roast it, stir fry it, whatever. I just love that anise taste to it.
Yeah.
It's good. All fun.
Yeah. So when we were at the theater on Friday, there was a couple named Jay and Maya who have been cooking soups with us pretty much since the beginning. And they can't cook with us on Mondays or what used to be Saturdays, but they've been cooking in their apartment complex with a group of friends. They all cook separately. They all cook the recipe of our week. And then Maya and Jay deliver their soups, all of them, I think to the Up County Hub. And when I saw her on Friday, they were very, excited about not only going out, but being part of this soup thing for 2 years. And I said to her, do you know how many soups you've caused to be made? And she said, I think we counted not too long ago and it was 700. I mean, honestly, 700 quarts of soup just by cooking with some friends in your kitchen every Monday or whenever it is. I just think it's fantastic. You guys are just all amazing for showing up and doing this and giving it away. It's fantastic.
So Deb, what count do you have going for the whole thing? I know
Yeah, we're at like 11,000, I think. I don't know. Every month I count it up and I give it to Ya, who updates our website. So it's usually current there. And mine, I don't know why, but my brain doesn't hold numbers. I think I have too many numbers coming and going all the time. But I think Cheryl, is 11,000 about right? She's looking it up for us, Marcia. I mean, it's incredible, honestly, because, it's not that big a deal. It is, I mean, everybody's buying ingredients, everybody's delivering, it's fantastic. But in the scheme of things, to be able to provide that much food to other people, it's just fantastic. Where are we, Cheryl? You're muted if that helps you.
Okay. It's like 10,950.
And that's last month. So we're at 11,000.
Yeah,
and that's what's reported. And I am here to tell you without a speck of insecurity that twice as much has been made that has been like reported. Honestly.
Do the people that you referred to, Jay and whomever, do they report?
They do, but I don't know if they report all, but I don't barely see some of you guys on the list, which is totally fine. I know in my heart that we're cooking a lot more than even what I'm overwhelmed by on the reporting, it's all fine.
Yeah.
I forget myself.
Guilty.
I know, it's totally fine. The fact that you show up and cook and give it away sometimes is great, whatever, it's fine. The reporting is the least important part of it.
So it's really fun to go to the bottom of the KindSoup page. You got to scroll down to the very bottom and there's this thing that a counter that starts at 0 and it boom, 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 goes 1,000, 2,000, like you could see it going, and then it stopped at 10,950. So that was kind of fun. So check it out next week and let's see when we break 11,000 or 12,000.
I do love that. Yeah, that's very cool.
That's good. Yeah, my problem, I don't have space to freeze stuff. Which is what another volunteer kind chef was telling me also. So if there's places where we could bring it to freeze, I guess over to Marge's freezer, perhaps.
Yeah, Marge is always willing to freeze. And I hope that Hetty offers up the freezers there because we put one there, so that should help. And I mean, it was my thing, and especially going into the summer, I'm the one that likes to have them delivered frozen. There isn't any good reason why in the winter you couldn't deliver them not frozen, because it's cold enough that they're not going to go bad. It's just a little bit of an extra food safety issue. So I don't know, Cheryl. Don't stress.
It's also that it spills. Sometimes there's a crack or it spills and.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just if I have like 8 quarts, I don't know if maybe other people have some suggestions, but if I have, 8 quarts and I put them in my refrigerator to cool down, even like what my refrigerator heats up.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, the idea that we've heard about that is to do an ice water bath. So get your biggest casserole, what you cook your Thanksgiving turkey in or whatever, and fill that up with some ice and some water and put your quarts of soup resting in that before you put it in the refrigerator. That's the way to do it.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. Good suggestion.
This is going to be a good protein-filled dinner, you know? Between
Yeah.
the sausage and the beans and everything.
I'm excited that you're trying those two new things. We can't wait to hear.
I know, I'll let you know. But I tried, I mean, usually, to be honest, these things kind of, I don't like them. But both of these were really good. I mean, after I pan sauteed them, fried them, whatever, because they have to get solidified a bit. But they both tasted really good, so I think it'll be fine.
And normally you don't like the vegan meats because of the flavor or
The texture, the idea. I mean, I never ate sausage to begin with,
so
so
you don't need to develop a taste.
although part of my cooking class, it's a vegan cooking class,
Yeah.
I made apple fennel sausage. That is so good,
Oh, yeah.
but it's like a day's work.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think these things are usually kind of slimy and
Yeah.
ooh.
When you do a day's work to make an apple fennel sausage, vegan sausage, can you make so much that you've got it for 6 months or no, not really?
Well, it came out to like 4 large sausages. So I think I had 2 at the time and 2 are in my freezer. So I'm going to use those.
Yeah, it's
But
one day extra.
I didn't know, again, yeah. Yeah. But I was surprised at how good it was. And it looks like the real thing, as far as I could tell. I don't really know, but, but anyway, it tasted good. And again, has my favorite ingredient in it. So
Exactly.
it
Good.
was good. Yeah.
So that class that you were taking is ongoing?
Yeah. So the first one was through Forks Over Knives. And then this one is through Ruby, Rouxve. It's their classes are not all vegan, actually. It's a professional cooking school, although the level that I do is not professional, but you get some sort of certificate if you send in the photos of everything you're making, and you have to say exactly how it tastes and what the texture is, and
Oh my God, it's just like SSL hours, photos and like a reflection afterwards.
a reflection. Yes.
That's ridiculous, but funny. Okay.
Yeah, it's really annoying though when you cook the whole thing and you realize you didn't do the photo of all the ingredients all chopped up. It's
Yeah.
like, oh no.
Oh my God, that's annoying. Now you know why those parents yell at us about SSL hours.
So speaking of fennel, which is this is a far cry from what Marcia's talking about for cooking classes, but I had watched a couple of episodes of Amy Schumer, Amy Learns to Cook, and her husband is a real chef, like a real chef. And it's very funny because fennel is his favorite of all time, and he like every recipe and everything, he's always putting fennel into things. So it was fun to watch. But I don't like a licoricey kind of thing. So I don't know, when I smell it, I'm like, I don't know. But I haven't really had it much.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, join us on Monday and be all ready, Cheryl.
I'll try.
Okay, good. No pressure. No pressure.
I actually love the taste of licorice to the point where, those yogi teas. I have a licorice mint tea. That's so good. It's like my favorite tea.
Did you like Good and Plenty growing up?
I don't like that texture, that chewy.
Yeah, no,
I look at that and my teeth hurt. But yeah, so no, but I like eating licorice. I mean, Trader Joe's, the licorice is right in the aisle with the frozen stuff. It's like above the frozen stuff, right near the cash registers. It's gets me every time.
How's everybody's looking? And smelling,
It's-
mine smells so good. What?
Yeah, yeah.
It look like it's working?
Yeah, I think once, like you said, once you put it over rice, that's gonna be the end of the liquid, Even though I put in even more probably than you said, and then I scooped out some.
Yeah,
But I think when you put it over rice, it's gonna,
soak it all up and it'll be like
Disappear.
a meal. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna
Yeah.
try. Why not? Oh my God, looks beautiful. All right, if anybody wants to see, here's what mine looks like. Can you see that?
so did you leave out the liquid or that's it? The liquid was all
No,
evaporated?
there's liquid in there.
Oh, okay, it
There's
looks,
liquid in there, yeah. Let's see. Can you see it? I mean, it's not like a soup, but it's got plenty of liquid in it.
mine definitely needs more spices. I'm gonna mix up the spices that are in it already and just double it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's too much water. I don't know.
Hmm.
Oh, actually, I was also skimpy with the cayenne because I was afraid. So now I could.
Now it's time. Yeah. Marcia, even in spite of all the spices, I feel like a lot of this flavor is coming from the andouille. So I wonder what
Yeah.
that means about the amount of spices you're going to want to use.
Yeah.
And then I just added some salt, which I hadn't done yet, and it really
Yeah.
is a better flavor.
Yeah, a spoonful with the sausage is definitely better.
Hmm.
Okay, here we go.
All right, good luck. Hmm.
This is where my husband says, "Can you make this again like this?" And it's like, nah, probably not like this. Be like something, I don't know.
Denise, are you using sausage?
Yeah, I couldn't find much andouille at the grocery store, and I'd like to try to hit one store when I can. So I got the chorizo.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That'll be a good spicy one too. Now,
yeah,
will your parents eat sausage? I can't remember.
yeah. They'll eat it.
All right,
Yeah.
good. How are they doing?
Doing good, thanks. Yeah,
Good.
I'm going there next week. They're still enjoying all the soups and everything. They have they can go to a dining hall in the place where they live, but they like to do some smaller meals every day, and so they still enjoy all their KindSoup.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Good. What do you think, Julie? You look like you're trying yours.
I'm planning to make this later in the week, but I'm making something else today. Just
Oh,
looking at,
good. What are you
that.
making? Inspire us.
white beans and greens.
Mm. Oh, this was the recipe Bob was telling me you're making up, right?
Well, this one was from New York Times. I don't know if you can see this, but we had it in a restaurant recently and looked like this.
Wow, looks fantastic. Tell us the ingredients.
So, well, for the one I'm making today, olive oil, leeks, because I actually couldn't find fennel.
Mhm.
And I thought that would be okay. Onion, little rosemary, garlic, a little bit of red pepper, escarole, cannellini beans, chicken stock, and then salt, pepper, lemon juice, Parmesan.
If you love it, can we make it? Will you send me the recipe and we'll make it in like July or August?
Sure.
All right, so yeah, see how you end up liking it, but that sounds delicious.
The one that we had at the restaurant had some sausage in it, like crumbled sausage.
Uh-huh.
And this one doesn't have that, but I thought I would try this.
Uh-huh.
This is from New York Times Cooking.
Sounds great.
So,
I have to confess, I'm doing a cheat today of a recipe, a couple of different recipes that I put together for red beans and rice, but one of them is called easy red beans and rice because I'm using the canned kidney beans.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll see how that comes out.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Carol made hers yesterday. And I don't know if she used the canned or not, but she did text me afterwards. She said, such a good and easy recipe. And if people use the can, that'll be fine. I think that's her way of telling me she used the can. I'm not
Yeah.
All right, well, my mouth is happy. Salt is all I ended up adding. But good, yeah. Cheryl, what'd you end up doing? Just hanging out?
Really easy. It's Taylor, I don't know if you can see it. Taylor coconut curry veggies with a sauce.
Oh, that does sound good.
You take the veggies and you saute them with whatever extra veggies you want.
Yeah.
And it has this curry sauce in a little baggie.
Uh-huh.
And then you add some rotisserie chicken and everybody's happy.
Oh, I love when everyone's happy. That's excellent. All right.
Yeah, no, I was trying to figure out another like soup to do, but it didn't come together today.
That happens. We're glad to have you on anyway. All
Thank
good. All right.
Anybody else have cornbread?
Ooh, that sounds yummy.
Yeah.
Right.
I Googled easy red beans and rice, and
Oh, yeah.
there's a recipe. It looks great.
Yeah, I'm using that one. That's from All Recipes. And there's another one that had a couple of a little, just slightly fancier. The one All Recipes was really basic. And then there was another one from damndelicious.net. So that one has Cajun seasoning. It adds in celery with the onions and peppers. What else does it have? Hot sauce. So yeah, I think you can do anything to it.
Pretty much. And Marcia's not on the screen now, but a few minutes ago, she went into that bowl 5 or 6 times. I think she's happy. Well,
Yeah.
she just went back for
You know
more.
what? I keep replacing it with more spice stuff.
Oh, so you're spicing it up? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Smoked paprika. That's a good one. Oh, yeah, and you're using cayenne. That's good too, right?
I have to,
Anybody know which is spicier, the andouille or chorizo sausage?
I kind of think maybe the chorizo is, but they both have a lot of flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you try yours yet?
Yeah, it's it won't be too spicy for
Good.
anybody if it's not too spicy for me, so that's good.
Good.
Chorizo. I have to start saying it right.
That's right.
Chorizo.
Chorizo. And the other one, andouille,
Andouille.
Yeah.
Okay.
because the LLE is like ye. Andouille.
I should know that from French.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. Well, I think we're all in good shape then. Everybody's good. Julie, I'm gonna
Yeah.
look forward to hearing whether we should cook your recipe later in the summer.
All right.
All right, and everybody's good. Marcia's fixing hers. Oh, there it is. Braised white beans and greens with Parmesan. I have a feeling. Did we make that? Cheryl?
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't remember it saying braised white beans. I think we need to make that. And if Julie and Bob tell us it's great, let's do it. And Marcia, you're fixing yours, so you're good and everybody else is good. All right, I'm gonna say good night and have a wonderful week, everyone.
Thank you.
All right, good to see everybody.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.